I acted as a man to get work until I was accused of struggle snuggle. This story is a few years old, but I just now came across it, and whew, it is such a current year story, despite being 4 years old. I'm not even playing. Pili Hussein wanted to make her fortune prospecting for a precious stone that's said to be 1,000 times rarer than diamonds. But since whammons aren't allowed down in the mines, she dressed up as a man and fooled her male colleagues for almost a decade. So here's why I said this is an interesting story. I have mad respect for this woman. She actually put her money where her mouth is. She pretended to be a man, and she was so good at it, she fooled her colleagues for a decade. This is a real woman who womaned up. She didn't beg for handouts. She didn't throw a pity party. She didn't play the victim. She pulled herself up by her bootstraps like a man and handled problems herself like a man. Mad respect. But unfortunately for her, it's current year. So the jig was up eventually, and the way it happened is the most current year way possible. So Pili Hussein grew up in a large family in Tanzania, the daughter of a livestock keeper who had many large farms. Pili's father had 6 wives, and she was one of 38 children. Ooh, that is a large family. Although she was well looked after in many ways, she doesn't look back on her upbringing fondly. My father treated me like a boy, and I was given livestock to take care of. I didn't like that life at all, she says. Wow. And then she became a miner instead. But her marriage was even more unhappy. At the age of 31, Pili ran away from her abusive husband. In search of work, she found herself in the small Tanzanian town of Mererani in the foothills of Africa's highest mountain, Kilimanjaro, the only place in the world where mining for a rare violet blue gemstone called Tanzanite takes place. I didn't go to school, so I didn't have many options, Pili said. Whammons are not allowed in the mining area, so I entered bravely like a man, like a strong person. You take big trousers, you cut them into shorts, and you appear like a man. That's what I did. Yeah, again, mad respect. To complete the transformation, she also changed her name. I was called Uncle Hussein. I didn't tell anyone my actual name was Pili. Even today, if you come to the camp, you ask for me by that name, Uncle Hussein. The tight confines of the hot, dirty tunnels, some of which extended hundreds of meters below the ground, Pili would work 10 to 12 hours a day digging and sieving, hoping to uncover gemstones in the veins in the graphite rock. Damn. I think I would rather look after livestock. Well, I guess it depends. I mean, mining is fine for a little while, but the thing is, like, my uncle was a coal miner. He retired in his 40s. Yeah, coal miners, if you do the whole deal, like it's almost like the military, right? You do your 20 years, you get your retirement. It's kind of the same with coal miners, at least at the mine he worked at in Poland. But his health is so fucked up, it's not like he gets to enjoy his retirement very much. Like, he is still alive, but, and he's been retired for like the past 30 years. But he's, he's a collection of medical issues. All right, I could go 600 meters under into the mine. I would do this more bravely than many other men. I was very strong, and I was able to deliver what men would expect another man could do. See, all you weak-ass bitches who keep failing that army fitness test, what's your excuse? This woman successfully pretended to be a man for 10 years. And was more of a man than some of the men there. So what's your excuse? Why can't you man up like she did? Pili says no one suspected that she was a woman. So much so that the false accusations happen. I acted like a gorilla, she said. I could fight. My language was bad. I could carry a big knife like a Maasai. No one knew I was a whammons because everything I was doing like a man. Yeah, your farm upbringing really paid off. And after about a year, she struck it rich, uncovering 2 massive clusters of Tanzanite stones. With the money she made, she built new homes for her father, mother, and twin sister, bought herself more tools, and began employing miners to work for her. Yeah, I just got to wonder, like, her family basically sold her out. I mean, it sounds like they didn't help her at all. Yet, yeah, she really is more of a man than a lot of men, going back and helping them anyway. Yeah, and her cover was so convincing that it took an extraordinary set of circumstances for her true identity to finally be revealed. A local Whammons had reported that she's been struggle snuggled by some of the miners, and Pilly was arrested as a suspect. When the police came, the men who did the struggle snuggle said, "This is the man who did it, and I was taken to the police station," Pilly says. Oh, man. Yeah, no, so in this case, the false accusers were actually the real perpetrators. So the woman in question actually was a victim, but the actual perpetrators blamed a woman for it, unbeknownst to them. Oh, shit. I bet they really had it coming. She had no choice but to reveal her secret. She asked the police to find a woman to physically examine her to prove that she couldn't be responsible, and was soon released. But even after that, her fellow miners found it hard to believe that they had been duped for so long. They didn't even believe the police when they said I was a woman, she says. It wasn't easy for them to accept that until current year minus 20. Then when I got married and I started a family. Damn. So finding a husband when everyone is accustomed to regarding you as a man is not easy, Billy found, even though eventually she succeeded. I mean, no matter your circumstances, you'll find a guy who's into you. The question in his mind was always, is she really a woman? She recalls, it took 5 years for him to come closer to me. Now I'm curious, like, did she marry someone that knew her when she was pretending to be a man? I mean, I guess this could have been like a Mulan type situation, huh? Yeah, like just imagine, like, all of you listening, imagine, like, all the guys anyway, imagine your best male friend ends up actually being a biological woman, and then she decides to stop pretending to be a man, and it turns out, like, wow, she actually looks pretty hot when she's, not intentionally making herself look like a man. I guess it was one of those situations, huh? So Pili has built a successful career and today owns her own mining company with 70 employees. 3 of her employees are Whammons, but they work as cooks, not as miners. Pili says that although there are more Whammons in the mining industry than when she started out, even today, very few actually work in the mines. So looks like there aren't a lot of women that are willing to man up like she did, huh? Some Whammons wash the stones, some are brokers, some are cooking, she says, but they're not going down into the mines. It's not easy to get Whammons to do what I did. Yeah, see, this is one of those rare unicorns who put her money where her mouth is right there. So Pili's success has enabled her to pay for the indoctrination of more than 30 nieces, nephews, and grandchildren. But despite this, she says she wouldn't encourage her own daughter to follow in her footsteps. I'm proud of what I did. It has made me rich, but it was hard for me, she says. I want to make sure that my daughter goes to school, gets an indoctrination, and when she's able to run her life in a very different way, far away from what I experienced. No, good on her. She did the hard work so her descendants don't have to. Again, more of a man than a lot of men I know. Mad respect at one of the few women who was actually able to put her money where her mouth is in the whole equality racket. There aren't that many of them. Probably count them on one hand.
Oh man, I am so excited to tell you guys right now that finally, after about a year of build-up and shilling, we have launched Blade Devil on Indiegogo, and so far it is doing so well thanks to awesome people like you. If you haven't backed it yet, then please check the links in the description and check out Blade Devil on Indiegogo. You will not be disappointed. Looking forward to seeing you there.